What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And here, when you're looking at this chart, this is the gas prices in the US for each year beginning in 2019. And so you see it from January to December. Now, and you can track, um, you know, and follow each subsequent year. In the year 2022, we started about $3 or so, right? And we touched the $5 mark per gallon. And here we see that uh, it's currently at an average of $3.90 a gallon, which is $1.12 or 22% below their all-time high. And it's been at the lowest level in over 5 months. But keep in mind, we've been depleting our strategic petroleum reserves. And what happens when we no longer have reserves and we don't have pipelines in operation? That $5 that you saw is going to seem like a good sale when it hits double digits. So, something to keep in mind and keep monitoring as this progresses. We see average gasoline price in the US has now fallen for 67 days in a row, which now surpasses the streak in 2020 and close to passing the streak at the end of 2018. And so you see this blip right here. We're in the almost 70 range mark, 67 days in a row. And so again, when you're depleting those strategic reserves, of course you're going to uh, get lower gas prices because the more supply you have, the less expensive there is. If you keep the same amount of demand and increase the supply, the price comes down inevitably. But we know that this isn't the case in parts of Europe, which I'll get to in just a second. Here is another chart that's showing an increase in supply. Again, if you have an increase in supply and demand stays the same or becomes lower, then prices will lower. So here we see that there's a 10.9 months of supply worth of new houses, which has been increasing, right? Um, and so here this individual saying that price cuts are going to come fast and hard in the new home space. And we're seeing, let me see, I was just looking at a chart which shows that in the month of July, I believe houses dropped 7%, I believe, like in terms of pricing. So it's coming and it's going to happen a lot faster because demand's being destroyed with the federal funds rate increasing, right? But so there's a lot of factors at play here, but there might be an opportunity in between these time periods to maybe uh, get yourself something that will help you in preparation for what's coming because we know 2023 the food supply is going to be a lot harder to come by because you're seeing farmers speaking out and talking about how they're getting hit hard with these new ESG standards. So next year the food supply is going to be nowhere near what it was this year, and even this year you're seeing some scarcity in certain items or just the increase in pricing for those items. Here is some whistleblower allegations for Twitter as the stock falls over 5%, that there's no adequate oversight for employees, senior execs are covering up vulnerabilities, and execs misled board and regulators, not reliably deleting user data, do not have resources to know true number of bots on the platform. In other news, which is I'm actually looking forward to hearing what this is going to be like because this will open a whole new can of worms. But President Biden's announcing a plan to cancel $10,000 worth in student loans for borrowers making under 125,000 a year. Folks, this if you thought the stimmy checks were inflationary, just wait till they open this can of worms and people start asking for more debt relief. This is going to be on epic proportions. What you're paying at the store now and everywhere else, it's going to be a laughing stock. compared to what's going to happen once if this does get implemented. Sure, you might be like, "Oh yeah, I needed that huge chunk to be taken out," but you're going to pay for it. There's never a free lunch. So, I'll report on this tomorrow as it comes in. Also, here is starting in 2025, Bank Australia won't give out loans for new gas and diesel cars. And so this is part of this ESG movement in which they want to get rid of fossil fuels in order to save the earth. What you're going to see is we're going to go back in time and it's going to be more like the 1800s. Um, we rely on energy a lot, and the green energy that they're trying to push is going to destroy. And this ESG movement is also going to put strenuous conditions for small and medium businesses. I've shown you pictures of energy costs for small businesses or medium-sized businesses where their energy price has gone 10x. You can't survive on that. So here is food. Like I say all the time, food, water, and shelter are going to be the most important. Um, Money. I mean, if there's an inflationary storm, what good is your money going to do? It's the tangible things that you have, especially, and if you don't have food, then nothing else matters because that's the very essence of your survival. So here's comparing Bitcoin versus avocados, which I thought was an interesting chart. And here is protests in Pakistan of people who have taken the streets after receiving huge utility bills despite having 12 to 16-hour daily blackouts. This ESG movement this is the result. They want to get rid of all the energy sources that keep society running because they want to bring in that new control. So, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.